Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just bring it out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. All-Star Weekend just wrapped up. I reserved my thoughts on that, and I wanted to do something before games resume, and these aren't the best sets / actions, so you did get clickbaited a little bit, sorry, but these are some of my favorite sets, so let's get into the film. Alright, so the first action I want to take a look at is chin action. This is a set out of the Princeton offense, and the Celtics have ran it a lot this season to get Tatum post-up position or easy layups, and just like a lot of things they run, it has a lot of variance to it. So I'll let the play run one time and then I'll explain it to you. Alright, so for chin action, there is usually 4 players on the perimeter. There's one here who's going to be the screener, right? It usually starts with slot to slot passing, which happens right there, and then as the ball gets swung to the other side, the screener is going to set a back screen, right? This is called a chin cut, so this is why it's called chin action. A chin cut is just a cut off a back screen, right, from either wing. So the purpose is either to get an easy layup, or here they switch it, right, and it's exactly what we want. So it's either we get an easy layup or Tatum gets a switch on the smaller guy. Everything that the Celtics do doesn't even have to be a set. It can be a pick and roll, a pick and pop. They love to get Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Porzingis on smaller defenders so they can dominate them. So they run this action just to get a switch on CJ McCollum for Tatum, and he takes advantage and gets the and one. All right, so here we go, same exact thing against the Pistons, and again, it's either for easy post-ups on switches or a layup. So the Pelicans are more experienced than the Pistons. They at least got a defender on Tatum, and he had to like do a move to score. The Pistons don't communicate this well between Cade and Ivy, and they both just stick onto Derek White, and Tatum gets an easy dunk. Alright, so as I said before, this set comes with a lot of variance, and this one is called Chin Ricky. So it starts the same. You see Al is gonna come try to set this back screen, but he doesn't really set it with a lot of urgency, and that's because he's flipping it and he's setting the down screen. So Tatum gets an open shot. He does not make it, but this is a great play to get an open shot. So it's called Chin Ricky because chin, of course, again, is when you set a back screen and they cut off it, right? The Ricky aspect comes from a type of screen called Ricky. It's when you set a back screen and then you immediately come and set a pin down after that. So that's exactly what Al Horford did. That's why it's called Chin Ricky, and this was a good play even though he missed it. All right, so one of the more popular sets in the Celtics offense this year is horns action. So to be able to identify horns is just when 2 players are aligned at these elbows, right? So they can be slightly up, they can be right on it, but when you see 2 players at the elbows like this is horns action. So, and again, a lot of what the Celtics run, they have a lot of variance to it. There's a lot of options, and you can't be a robot on defense because if you're expecting one thing, the Celtics will do the other. So here, Tatum sets the flare screen, but White cuts, and that occupies Jaime Jaquez Jr., which is an easy pass to Jaylen in the corner. Again, he missed, but you cannot base plays off of the results. You have to go off what actually happened and the shot that you got, because again, if you go off of this result, which is a missed shot, you're saying that this wasn't a good play, even though Jaylen Brown got a wide open 3. All right, so this variance is called Horns Chest. Horns Chest is when there's a ghost screen by Jaylen Brown and then there's a flare screen by Kristaps, right? And it's such a luxury to have a center that can be a lob threat and a pick and pop threat, right? Because he sets the screen, quickly is a little bit behind, and he gambles. So now Jaylen has like a lane, and Mitchell Robinson, being the rim protector that he is, tries to slide over, can't leave Kristaps Porzingis for that long, and he hits a 3. All right, so here's a perfect example to see the variance on back-to-back plays. So here they align in the horn set, as you see. They get it into Sam Hauser on Cam Thomas, and this is usually a flare screen for Derek White to come out around here. But as of late, he's been curling and coming off to the rim, and as he does this, Tatum gets inside position on Mikal Bridges. Hauser passes it. It leads to them just passing the ball around, and it leads to Al Horford getting fouled. All right, so in the very next possession, they go back to horns. Tatum is handling this time with Hauser and White on the elbows. They get it into White. Tatum is preparing to set a pin down for Sam Hauser. The defense has to respect this and switch quickly because Hauser's such a great shooter. This is all a decoy to get Tatum a switch on Cam Thomas at the free throw line. He seals him, uses physicality, and dunks the ball through. All right, so first offensive possession for the game for the Celtics. They align in the horns action, as you see right here. Porzingis sets the screen for White to come out to the wing. Then they set up double drag screens for White. He rejects them. Why is hold up. Why is Grimes just sitting there in the paint? All right, so they set up the double drag. White rejects, and for some reason Grimes just leaves Holiday and Brown 2-on-1 with Randall for some reason. Great pass by Derek White, great extra pass by Jalen, sidestep, and a 3 by Holiday. All right, so here the Celtics run flex action. The Warriors are famous for this. They run it to perfection, and it does help having the greatest shooter of all time on your team and one of the greatest shooters of all time in Klay Thompson. But the Celtics, of course, put their own little twist to it, and they get JB a post up over Dorian Finney-Smith. All right, so it's called flex action because of this screen right here that Derek White is going to set. Usually, a flex screen is followed by a baseline cut to get this guy a layup right under the rim or a post up right here, right? After this happens, as the defense is trying to communicate the switch, not give up a layup, Steph Curry is going to come off a pin down, and that's just too much space, and he's probably going to hit that shot. But what the Celtics do is that Jalen crosses face right here, and he gets deep post-up position after the screen. Again, you still have that action on the back end here with the pin down from Al Horford. But when you have a guy as athletic and as good at scoring the ball as Jaylen Brown is, this positioning is too much for the defense, and that's a bucket. All right, I'm 21 years old. I've been watching basketball for about 15 years. This is the first time I've seen this. I'm not saying it's the first time it's happened. This is just the first time I've seen it. And the Celtics got really creative with this one. So here, the Celtics are trying to combat the Nets full court trap, right? Hauser and Cornette are going to come together to set an elevator screen. An elevator screen is just like it sounds. If you've ever seen an elevator, you have two sides and you have like two doors, right? And it slides open as somebody enters it, but when somebody comes through and gets on the elevator, it closes. This is what you see on this play, right? They set the screens for Steph. As he's coming through, it's open because he's the person that's getting on the elevator in this situation, and as he comes through, it closes. They don't allow the defense to get through it, and Steph gets an open 3. But what's different about this is that even though they set it, I've only seen elevator screens for the person to catch the ball to go score, right? I've never seen elevator screens set for somebody to go set another screen. Now, again, there's been so much basketball played in history. I'm not saying this is the first time it's happened. This is just the first time I've seen it. In my experience, an elevator screen has always been set for that person to catch the ball off of the elevator screen. And as White goes through, he sets a back screen for Tatum to get the switch that they want. They get it to White. He enters it in Tatum. He gets a one-on-one at the end of the shot clock. He misses, but it was just a really creative play by the Celtics. I said before that a lot of what the Celtics do are about creating mismatches, and they love to do that on their baseline out of bounds plays. On all of these, you see a guard screening for Porzingis, forcing the switch, and almost every time KP's going to take advantage of those.
Did a great job of controlling pace and tempo through 3.
Porzingis got the inbound.
Boston 6th in post-ups this season as Porzingis.
They have 2 or 3 balls in the air at the same time.
Because so high.
All right, so here the Celtics run zoom action. Zoom is a 3-person action that usually starts in the corner that involves a screen and a dribble handoff, and then the teams can play out of that just like the Celtics did here as Porzingis hit the 3. All right, so here we have Holiday in the corner. You see Tatum and Porzingis coming over there. Tatum sets the screen. Porzingis does the dribble handoff. Then this turns into a pick and pop situation. KP knocks Rozier down. Bam helps too far. And Porzingis hits the 3. All right, so this is Celtics running their double stagger screen action. So it's when two guys set an off-ball screen in the same direction that are spaced apart, right? So usually what happens in this is that Tatum will come all the way around us and receive the pass from Payne Pritchard. But again, the Celtics run things with a lot of variations in it. And they do a great job of not being robots. At the earliest stages of me playing basketball, one thing coaches have always drilled in my head is that even though you have a set play to run, even though you have actions that I'm telling you to do, don't be a robot. So if the defense is taking away something, do something else and just take what they give you. And the Celtics do a nice job of that on these plays with these variations. So again, the thing that usually happens is Tatum's going to come all the way around us up to the top of the key area. Instead, Tatum comes off the Drew one, but they see that Julius Randle is just playing this lazily. He's walking. He's not really showing that he's playing it. So Tatum sets the pin down for Hauser, and he comes off and he gets a 3. This time against the Cavaliers, the Celtics run it for their 7'3" center who is agile and mobile enough to come off these and get an and 1. And like I said in the previous clip, they'll usually come off of both of the screens. They'll catch it here. They can either shoot, or this turns into a pick and roll action, or they can do what Porzingis does here and goes right to the basket and gets an and 1. All right, so this is a play that's been big in the NBA for years now. It was popularized overseas, which you might can tell by its name. This is a Spain PNR. So it starts with an on-ball screen, and as the screener rolls, somebody will come set a back screen on the roller's man so he cannot recover fast enough, right? So this forces the tag man, who in this situation is Randle, to play 2-on-1. This could either be a regular pass to KP and then he'll swing it to Jaylen Brown, but in this case it's a lob, and Randall has no choice but to foul Porzingis, and he gets the N1. All right, so this last play is an empty pick and roll. It's not like some elaborate set, but the Celtics get Porzingis a lot of his lobs off this just because of the spacing. So there's two things I want to look at in this. I want you guys to look at how Joe is coaching this, right? You see him at the top here. He's telling him to push, then he tells Howard to move, signaling the empty pick and roll, tells KP to come set the screen. He's telling Al and Jalen to exchange just to keep this side of the defense occupied. And now that Hauser is going to the other side, now the corner's empty. The Celtics spacing and Porzingis being a pick and pop threat and a lob threat. Also, Josh Richardson has to respect Hauser in the corner, and this causes for an easy lob for the Celtics. But that is the video. Again, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just swing out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.